This is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and in front of me here I have my sticker by number book for the national parks. So I did one in here before on my channel, and I thought it would be fun to dive in and do another one. I love these sticker scenes or sticker by number types of activities. I think that they're just really relaxing and very satisfying to do. I can just kind of zone out and let my brain just think about this. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm not going to look through all of the pages like I did in my first video. I'm going to move that out of the way a little bit. But I do want to show you this one here that I did last time. This was Yellowstone. So I definitely had lots of cracks in between some stickers, so it was not perfect, but it was still a lot of fun to do. And today, I think that I would like to do the Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park. This one here. Okay, I just moved my lights out of the way because they were getting a little chaotic. But today, I would like to do this scene of Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park. So we can kind of clearly see that it is a volcano here. I assume a little landscape down here and a lovely sky. So I have picked this one today because my husband and I are traveling to Hawaii, and I'm very excited about it, so I thought it would be a little fitting to do this one. So now I'm going to find these sticker pages for this at the back of the book here. So this one is Rocky Mountain. This one here is Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park. Let's see if there are any other stickers. Yes, okay, so it does go on to a second page. It's kind of partially for the Olympic National Park, so I will need to take out both of those pages. I do like that these are pretty sturdy pages, so I feel like they tear out pretty nicely. And then I'm also going to tear this one out. Alright. So we have our stickers out of the book now. And this here is the picture that we're going to complete. So this is the little reference image here. So let's go back to Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park. Alright, so I just zoomed you in here so that you can maybe see the actual picture a little bit better. And last time I learned that I preferred to just go by the stickers, so I'm just going to go down the line of the number here and find it on the picture. And I have these little craft tweezers that I'm going to use today. So I'm going to start with is number 1. Just try and really gently peel off the sticker like that. And find where it goes. Here's number 1. And my stickers will not be the most precise. So if that's going to bother you, I think right now you should know that. Alright, let's do number 2. Here's the second sticker, and number 2 is right here. Smooth that out onto the page. Number 3. Number 3 goes right there. There we go. We are very excited for our Hawaii trip. We have lots of fun excursions and things planned. I do have to get creative with the sheets to be able to grab it nicely. Okay, there's number 4. It's already crooked. Let's do number 5. It's gonna go right there. Neither of us have been to Hawaii before, so we are quite excited about that. And it's just so beautiful. We're really looking forward to the nature, and we are gonna do a few, nature-y hikes and things that we're just excited about. And our last big trip was to Costa Rica, and we had so much fun with that. And we just really got into where we were at. We were kind of on the west coast of Costa Rica. So it's a little bit different than the East Coast. I mean, culture-wise, landscape. So I feel like we got a good perspective of what the West Coast is like. And it's so hard because there are so many places that we would like to travel, but you just kind of have to pick and choose. And we're incredibly thankful that we have the ability to travel, because neither of us growing up really had that too much. And just, I grew up in kind of a large family, so I feel like doing any trip like that would have been very, very expensive. So usually our vacations were, road trips and camping trips, which I really cherish those memories. And I think that you don't necessarily need to spend a lot of money to spend a good time as a family. But my husband and I don't have any kids yet, so we're kind of thinking, before we have kids, obviously you can travel when you have kids, right? It's not like your life just stops, but I feel like it would also be really silly to say that nothing about the way that you travel changes. It just does, because you're having to accommodate an entirely, new human. So, of course, you know, if we have the ability, we do want to travel with our kids too, our future kids. But right now, in this stage in our life, we're trying to kind of go to the places that we would like to go. And Hawaii is just such a beautiful one that's been on our radar. This is 11. This is going to go here. And the world is just, you know, so big. There's so many amazing places that you can go. And we are usually kind of limited to summertime because of my husband's work. What am I looking for? I'm looking for number 12. Oh, I see it over here. But what was I saying? Oh yes, we're usually limited to travel times to just during the summer. But that is kind of nice because it's just, you know, I'm still working during the summers. So it's just my work schedule that we have to kind of worry about. But that does also just generally limit, like, where we really want to go during the summer, because there are some places that are just not incredibly pleasant to visit in July. 13 is one right here. But we are thinking, we have kind of a bucket list of places that we would like to visit. And it's just really hard to kind of narrow it down. And it's also kind of a balancing act because we do have certain financial goals, but we are both of the same mindset, and we've been this way. And before we got married, we'd been together a while anyways, but we definitely had all of those conversations about kind of money priorities and what our life goal and like our future kind of looks like and how we spend our money. And of course we align on some of the really big ones. We do eventually want to get a house, so we are saving for that. But we also want to enjoy our life, and we don't just want to focus on these future goals and let our youth slip away. So while we are still young, we're in our, late 20s, we do still want to do, fun things for us. So travel is kind of the big extra expenditure that we spend on us. So our bucket list for places that we'd like to go, I feel like keeps growing. Because again, there's just so many amazing places in this world to see. And there's only so much time and so much money to spend on seeing those places. But we think our next big trip, usually we kind of try and have a big trip like every 2 years. And then on the in-between, maybe our trip during the summer is just like to see family. And so that ends up being a lot cheaper because usually people graciously host us. But we think our next one is going to be to Japan. And my husband has gone to Japan, but I have not. And he went in high school as a school trip. So it would be very different going back as an adult and getting to pick the itinerary. So that's kind of our next big one that we are thinking about. But I also don't want to get ahead of ourselves, and I want to enjoy our upcoming trip to Hawaii. There's also the tricky thing being American. We don't get a ton of time off of work, I think famously. And thankfully, my organization is pretty good. And we had this vacation planned before I joined back in April. And so I was just kind of upfront about this pre-planned vacation, and they were like, that's fine. So thankfully it worked out. But, you know, it's a little bit tricky kind of working with the paid time off, and luckily my manager has been really gracious, and I'm salaried, but you know, I don't really want to be like working while I'm on vacation and popping in and out, so I wanted to like fully take that time, so we kind of were able to work it out, which is very nice. Oh, this is 23. I think it's gonna go like this. Go 24. Let's see where 24 is. 24 is right here. Okay. 25. Usually when we travel, we like to really kind of focus on nature or historical sites. We both just love being in places with rich history, and I mean, all across the world there's places with rich history, right? But that's really something we try and emphasize when we travel places. We really want to, you know, like get a good feel for the area and also respect for the history of the location. It's 27. I think it's gonna go upside down like that. Will be interesting going to Hawaii and having the time change go backwards, because we are used to having the time change go forwards anywhere we travel. Just because we are on the West Coast. This is 28. Let's see where 28 is. There it is. I think volcanoes are just so cool. And growing up in the Pacific Northwest, this was this page done, so I'm going to move on to the next page. Growing up in the Pacific Northwest, I was born after the Mount St. Helens eruption, but the history of that is just so ingrained in the area that we definitely grew up in the shadow of that. And it's just a really interesting place to live with all of the mountains, and I think knowing and hearing, you know, how much ash came down after the St. Helens eruption. I grew up hearing all of those stories. So I have a very deep respect for mountains and volcanoes especially. So I think I'm very excited to go and see some really fun volcanoes. 30. This is number 30. Now 31, 33, 32, 30 right here. Okay. My husband and I are both just really big into landscapes and nature. We're not really big, like avid hikers or anything, but we definitely just appreciate nature. This is 31. It's gonna go right here. Okay, 32 is going right there. Oh, 33. This one is going to go right here. I'm very excited about the food. I love seafood, so we will definitely be getting some really good fresh seafood while we're there. And we have some really fun restaurants planned because we did get a couple of reservations. Let's see, where is 34? 34 is here. But our vacations, we usually kind of plan it to be right around our wedding anniversary and my birthday, because they're within a week of each other. And so we got a couple of reservations set at some really, really nice looking, fun restaurants with just absolutely delicious fresh food. So of course I'm very excited about the food. It's gonna go like this. And I am very grateful to my parents who are gonna be watching our dog Edna while we're gone. And we're gonna be gone for just about a week. And obviously that's not nearly enough time to see and do like everything in Hawaii, so we are just gonna be around the Big Island. This is 37. It's right here. Because we thought it would be best to just kind of stay on one island for the week and just really explore that and do the things that we would want to do just with the time that we have. Okay, 38. Find 38. Okay, here's 38. This is gonna go like this. Okay. Gosh, I just love doing these because they're just so fun. I do really want to get some more of the physical sticker rooms because I think those were just so adorable. simple and just a lot of fun to do as well. It's kind of a different thing than doing these ones with the numbers that just kind of tell you exactly where things need to go. It's 39. The sticker rooms usually have a little reference image on the back, but then you can just kind of do what you want. But even if you follow the reference image, you kind of have to figure it out yourself a little bit. And I think that's kind of fun. I think this is going to go right there. It's easy when it has the lettering on it. And this is the beginning of Hawaii. Let's do 42 now. Is right here. $43. I'm very excited. After this, I'm going to be baking a nice dessert. I'm going to be making a little like fruit cookie, and it has like a cream cheese icing. And I did this last year and it was really, really tasty. So I'm very excited. My butter is downstairs on the counter, coming up to room temp. What is this? This is 44. Yeah, it's 44. I am filming this around the 4th of July, and it will obviously come out after the 4th of July. But I am making my cookie pizza, or like my fruit pizza, for it's just for my husband and myself because we don't have any 4th of July plans. But I got some strawberries and blueberries to place as the fruit, and I had the fun idea to try and do a little American flag, but I kind of want strawberry and blueberry in like each section, so I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. But it was making me think that I haven't actually done a cooking video or a baking video in a little while. I haven't really had as much time to do baking this year. But I have been planning out some really cute fall cookies. Oh gosh, that one is very crooked. But some cute fall cookies or some back to school cookies for my husband to bring into work and share with his coworkers. And that's usually who I bake my cookies for anyways. Because like I don't need a full batch of cookies for myself. And I like to kind of mess around with the decorations, even if they're not the best. I think it's still fun to kind of play around with designs. And they get to be my guinea pigs for flavors. which they frequently tell me that they don't mind. It's very satisfying to kind of be getting these letters down. Pretty big section up here. I feel like it goes a little bit faster, like the further along I get, because there are fewer places to look for unplaced stickers or like free sticker spots. It's gonna go like this. We do have a fun activity planned to go into some of the lava tunnels, so I'm very excited about that. Go 53. Let's grab 54. Or 55. Where's this one gonna go? 55. Here's 55. Alright, 56 is right here. One of our favorite parts of our Costa Rica trip was doing some hikes and just kind of wildlife like excursions while we were there, and it was just so amazing. So we're very excited to do something similar in Hawaii. It should be very fun. Dog, of course, loves my parents. She loves going to their house. It's like a little vacation for her because they spoil her and she gets kind of free reign of their fenced-in yard. So she just gets to kind of do what she pleases around their yard. And they make her mind, you know. They're a little bit more lax than we are because it's their grand dog, but they do still make her mind because she does get sassy. She is a husky, so she likes to test boundaries in new situations or with new people. And she, of course, knows my parents enough now that that's not really that much of a thing anymore for them. But every now and then she does still like to get a little bit sassy. So they do kind of have to, you know, lay down the law a little bit. they're still good with her, but it's just like she needs those reminders every now and then that she can't just do whatever she wants. For the most part, she's a real good girl anyway, so I feel like it's not that much of an issue. And it's like if she sees us leave, she gets pretty sad, like when we're leaving her at my parents'. But if we, have her go out in the backyard and then we leave, like she might be a little bit like, wait, where did my parents go? And then she like forgets about it and has a good week or whatever. So she has a little bit of a short attention span. But she also just has a lot of fun at my parents' house, so I think that makes it easier for her. And they used to take her on Jeep rides all the time because they have a Jeep Wrangler. She loved her Jeep rides, but this year they made some upgrades to their Jeep, and specifically they lifted it, and she was using her little car ramp to get into it before, and it was already a little bit too tall, so it was a bit of a struggle. And we're thinking like she just cannot get in the Jeep now, so they would either have to pick her up into it, which is a little bit risky, or just not do Jeep rides. So I think they're figuring something out with that, because she does love her Jeep rides. And anytime we get to my parents', she goes like straight to the Jeep and she's like, it's time for my Jeep ride. So I think she'll be sad, but she, she's older, she's got arthritis, so, she can't be jumping up into regular cars, so she most certainly cannot jump up into a lifted Jeep. And we're getting pretty close. We've only got these few more rows of stickers left. And it's kind of like narrowing in to where they're supposed to go. This one is 70, so it's going to go right here. There we go. 71. One, 72. I'm so pretty grateful that I don't really have to buy too many things for the trip, especially like clothing, because this last February we had a cruise it was like a wedding party cruise, like a joint bachelorette party for my brother-in-law. And so we did that, and that was a lot of fun. But we went to the Bahamas, and so we got some kind of, beach clothes, and I got a new swimsuit and stuff like that. And a lot of that we can just use for our Hawaii trip. So it's very nice. I guess while I finish this out, I could read some of the facts that are over here about Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park. It says that they have 1.3 million annual visits a year. This is 74. They have 523 square miles, and the year it was designated a national park is 1916. Oh no, I just tore this one. Another fun fact is that bats are the only mammals that lived on the island before humans arrived. Coconut trees weren't there before people either. That's really interesting. 76. 76 is right there. 76. Kilauea and Mauna Loa are the two active volcanoes inside this national park. Mauna Loa is the taller of the two at 13,681 feet above sea level and has created most of the landmass of the main island of Hawaii. And here it says hawksbill turtles nest on the beaches of Hawaii. I am hoping that we do get to see some sea turtles, because when we were in the Bahamas, we did see one time. Well, I guess we saw two. We saw one from the cruise ship, and then on the cruise that we did, they had a day where we were at kind of like a private island that the cruise line had, and we kayaked around in the water, and we saw one tiny little baby turtle like zip away, and that was it. So we're hoping that we see more turtles. $79. 80. And the last little fact that they have is, I don't know exactly how to say this. It says the nene or the nini, a goose found only in Hawaii, has benefited from a captive breeding program that brought the species back from near extinction. Here's 81. 82. 83. 84. I'm on the last row of stickers here now. 84. This beautiful green going up the volcano. 5. thing that we're really looking forward to is the stargazing, because my husband is really into astronomy. He teaches an astronomy class, and it's really fun to go stargazing with him because he knows so much. But we know that the stars are really gonna be just really beautiful. So we're really looking forward to that too. Ooh, this one's really fun with like the jagged edges. Here's 88. Finishes this side of the mountain. Let's do 89. Go 90. That finishes out this lower part of the mountain. 91. And the last one here, 93. All right, there we go. So we have the full picture complete here. Again, with lots of little spaces and cracks. It's not the most perfect, but it was a lot of fun to do. I think I'm going to tuck this page back where it kind of belongs here, next to the Olympic National Park, so that it is there and ready for when I do another one. I honestly think the Olympic National Park might be my next choice, because again, growing up in the Pacific Northwest, I definitely have been around the Olympic National Park and the Olympic Peninsula and all of that, and it is just beautiful. Just one of my favorite places in the world. And here is the Hawai'i Volcanoes National Park sticker scene. This beautiful mountain here with these purples and browns and greens. These lovely trees. There's the sky here. It's just very, very pretty. A pretty scene. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me as I put this together. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.